Welcome back to your favorite channel, Quirky Reactions. I'm your host and your friend Gavneet Kaur from India. Today we are going to react on a video that says Top 10 Mega Projects in the USA. So, what are these mega projects all about? Because the thumbnail looks like really attractive, and I really don't I really want to know about it. Let's get started with the video. If you're new here, please subscribe this channel, and
From
let's
a racetrack in the streets of Las Vegas to the highest sky deck in the Western Hemisphere. In this video,
Whoa.
we'll look at the most expensive mega projects that are currently under construction in the United States.
Okay.
Let's start with number 10, Las Vegas Grand Prix, $500 million. In November 2023, the Grand Prix is heading to Las Vegas, Nevada for the first time in 40 years. Last time the city hosted the event, a track was built in the parking lot of the Caesars Palace Hotel. This time, they're taking a far more ambitious approach, a spectacular circuit that takes the racers down Las Vegas' famous strip, blasting past the colorful lights of hotels, casinos, and the iconic Bellagio fountain. The roads in Las Vegas are old and bumpy and not suitable for high-speed racing. In the coming months, these roads will need to be completely resurfaced. The city is also paying for pit stops, a paddock, and other important facilities. In total, the project is expected to cost in the region of $500 million.
That
the race
is a
is
lot of
expected
money
to pay for itself. General tickets start at $2,000, and there are also a number of packages available, including a $1 million all-access experience. This ticket includes a tour of the track, VIP access behind the scenes, and a ride in the seat of a real F1 car. That isn't even the most expensive ticket on offer. The Caesars Palace Hotel is selling a $5 million Emperor's Package, which comes with 5 nights in the Nobu Sky Villa, a private chef, and of course, a ticket to the race. One thing is certain, when this track is finished, it will be a sight to behold. The Las Vegas Grand Prix will be a night race, making sure that the buildings on either side will be alive with lights and colors. But this isn't the most expensive project underway in the States at the moment. It isn't even close. But with number 9, Brent Spence Bridge, $1.6 billion. In 1963, a bridge was built across the wide Ohio River, connecting the states of Ohio and Kentucky. It cost about $10 million, which is close to $70 million in today's money. The bridge had 2 decks. The top one carries traffic to Kentucky, and the bottom one carries traffic to Ohio. But there's a problem. When it was first built, the Brent Spence Bridge was designed to carry 100,000 vehicles per day, but population rates and general traffic have exploded in the decades since. In recent years, the bridge has carried more than twice the vehicles it's supposed to, and that could have some dangerous implications. Back in 2011, part of the Brent Spence Bridge collapsed, with a chunk of concrete landing on a vehicle. The local government insists that the bridge is routinely inspected and structurally sound, and that the collapse was unrelated to rising traffic. But they do have other worries: congestion, gridlock, and general stoppages on the overcrowded roads. That's why a federal plan has been approved to build a second bridge for $1.6 billion.
Oh my goodness.
This newer bridge, which doesn't have a name yet, will take on all the highway traffic from Interstates 71 and 75, while the original bridge only deals with local vehicles. This way, traffic will be significantly lower, which will reduce the risk of gridlock. Number 8. MSG Sphere, $2 billion. This next project takes us back to Las Vegas, where the company behind Madison Square Garden is building a state-of-the-art entertainment venue unlike anything the world has seen before. The interior space of the MSG Sphere will be fitted out with the largest LED screen on the planet, wrapping around the circular walls to completely surround the audience. The screen will be accompanied by 4D effects, including smells, wind, and seat vibrations. It's next-level entertainment, a completely immersive experience. The exterior of the sphere will be impressive too, with a shell of programmable lighting. In the autumn, the lights could turn the sphere into a giant pumpkin, or in the winter, a giant snow globe. As well as all this, the MSG Sphere will be the largest spherical building in the world, beating out the Avicii Arena in Stockholm. The $2 billion venue was meant to open in 2021, but construction was pushed back after the COVID-19 pandemic disrupted the project's supply chain. Now, MSG is hoping to open the spectacular sphere in 2023. If all goes to plan, an identical structure will also be built in London, but that project is still waiting for approval. Number 7. Gordie Howe International Bridge, $4.5 billion. This next structure is the most ambitious project on the list so far, the longest cable-stayed bridge in North America, connecting Canada to the USA. It will be 2.5 kilometers long, with 6 lanes for traffic, and a total cost of approximately $4.5 billion.
Oh my goodness.
To put that figure into context, it's almost 3 times as much as the Brent Spence Bridge project, or more than twice as much as the MSG Sphere. This total spend includes one unusual cost: the transportation of several hundred snakes. The Butler's garter is a local species whose habitat will be destroyed by the new bridge. Canada's environmental laws required the snakes to be safely relocated to a different habitat before construction could get underway. The bridge is expected to open in 2024. It will be named after celebrated hockey player Gordie Howe, who spent most of his career with the Detroit Red Wings. Unfortunately, Howe passed away before the construction of the bridge began, but his son approves of the name. Gordie Howe started his career in Canada before moving to America. This bridge will help others to travel between the two countries, which is why his name was chosen for the project.
That's great.
Number 6. Amazon HQ2, $5 billion.
What is it?
The next project on this list is Amazon HQ2, a new corporate headquarters in Arlington, Virginia, for the world's second largest company. They already have an expensive HQ in Seattle, Washington, but they want to double their office space as profits continue to rise. When HQ2 is finished, it will accommodate 50,000 workers, making it larger than Amazon's HQ1, which currently holds 40,000. It's been a meteoric rise for a company whose first headquarters were the garage in Jeff Bezos' house. HQ2 wasn't always going to be built in Arlington. Amazon actually invited cities to bid for the chance to host their new headquarters. All around the country, local governments scrambled to offer tax breaks to Amazon in the hope the company would bring jobs to the city. This was a controversial process, with some people questioning if HQ2 would really benefit these cities, or if their desperate attempts to attract the project would actually lose them money. The most impressive part of the HQ2 will be the helix, an intricate structure more than 100 meters tall, which spirals upward like a strand of DNA. In a recent statement, Bezos compared the helix to the elemental form of galaxies, weather patterns, pine cones, and seashells. But not everyone is quite so complimentary. In 2021, The Verge described it as a glass poop emoji covered in trees. Number 5. Project Connect Texas, $10.3 billion. At more than double the cost of Amazon HQ2, Project Connect will be a groundbreaking upgrade to public transport in Austin, Texas. The plan is to build 2 light rail lines, 3 new bus lines, and a transit tunnel under downtown Austin, new park and ride services, and to majorly overhaul any other existing transport lines in the city. As well as making life easier for the people of Austin, Project Connect is aiming to achieve some environmental milestones. They are aiming for a zero-emission fleet of vehicles, with all the buses and trains running purely on electricity. This is actually a downsized version of the project compared to the original proposal put forward in 2020. That early version was more ambitious, but corners were cut in the aftermath of the COVID-19 pandemic. Number 4. Chicago O'Hare Airport Upgrade, $12.1 billion. Chicago O'Hare started its life as a military airfield, which was mainly used to provide new aircraft during the Korean War. But in 1955, it opened up for civilian flights and grew into one of the largest airports on Earth. No other airport has more runways than Chicago's 8. No other airport has as many international connections, 214 non-stop flights to destinations around the world. But this airport is overcrowded and inefficient. The terminals aren't quite big enough, and there aren't enough facilities to support the 50 million passengers who use the airport every year. That's why they've decided to roll out a state-of-the-art upgrade, expanding 2 of the airport terminals and increasing the gate count. Construction starts in 2026, while the airport will continue to operate as normal, with passengers and construction workers sharing the space. Overall, this upgrade is a massive project, but it's still not the most expensive one on this list. The next project will cost more than twice as much. Number 3. Hudson Yards, $25 billion. Hudson Yards is a massive urban development site in Manhattan, New York. It started off with a colossal platform, carefully built to sit on top of a storage yard for trains. Next, the platform was fitted out with stunning facilities which completely transformed the area.
That's amazing.
Parks and groves, shops and restaurants, offices, apartments, galleries, hotels, and the highest ice rink in New York. A chunk of the site is already open to the public, but there's still a lot of work to be done, which is due to start in 2023. From the hotels and high-rises to offices and schools, more and more buildings will be shooting up as part of the project's second phase. Of the parts of the project which are already finished, the most iconic is probably the Edge, the highest sky deck in the Western Hemisphere. The glass floor is a dizzying 100 floors above the ground below, and it is already drawing plenty of daredevil tourists.
That's obvious.
Nowhere else in the entire world is a glass floor so far from the ground. Another icon of Hudson Yards is a honeycomb-like structure called Vessel. It's an impressively elaborate design, but it courted controversy when it first opened. Hudson Yards claimed ownership of any photos or videos which tourists took of the structure. They announced that they could use these photos for commercial purposes without needing to ask for permission. This policy led to a public outcry, and Hudson Yards was forced to backtrack. Now, anyone who takes a photo will own the photo too. Number 2. Texas Seawall, $31 billion. At number 2, we have the Texas Seawall, also known as the Ike Dike. Galveston Bay in southeast Texas has always been vulnerable to storms rolling in from the Gulf of Mexico. Back in 1900, the Great Galveston Hurricane killed 8,000 people, making it the worst natural disaster in U.S. history. 2 years later, the Galveston Seawall was constructed to stop a similar disaster from ever happening again. For 100 years, this seawall did its job, keeping out any major storm waves. But in 2008, Hurricane Ike hit the region, with waves so large they surged over the top of the Galveston seawall. The waves killed more than 100 people and caused $38 billion worth of damage. In 2018, the Army Corps of Engineers came up with a plan for a new and improved seawall, which is expected to do a better job than the current version. The project's key component will be a pair of surge gates, each of them 200 meters across. For most of the year, these gates will be open, allowing a natural flow of water in and out of the bay. But when a hurricane comes close, the gates will slam shut and hold back the waves. In total, the new seawall could cost in the region of $31 billion. It's an eye-watering figure, but less than the cost of the damages caused by Hurricane Ike. In other words, if another hurricane hits on a similar scale, this seawall could pay for itself and save many lives.
That's good. Let's hope so it works.
Number 1. Sound Transit 3, $53 billion.
What?
At the top of the list, and almost double the cost of the Texas seawall, is Sound Transit 3. This new transport system for Seattle, Washington is meant to solve the congestion crisis which has blighted the city for years. Congestion in the region skyrocketed by a massive 95% between 2010 and 2015. It all comes down to overpopulation. Last year, the region grew by 50,000 people, and experts predict that it will increase by a further 800,000 in the next 2 decades. More people means more cars, and more cars mean more congestion. In 2022, most Seattle commuters spent more than 50 hours stuck in traffic every year, the equivalent of 2 whole days.
That's crazy.
This isn't the worst congestion in the country. Commuters in Chicago have it 3 times worse, but Seattle are the ones who've decided to do something about it. Sound Transit 3 will create 300 kilometers of rail with the potential to carry 600,000 daily passengers. Rapid buses are also planned, as well as plenty of stops and stations. The project is expected to open in stages between 2024 and 2041, slowly improving the situation before the overcrowding spirals out of control.
So this was a video about top 10 mega projects in the US, and my god, each project involves a hell lot of money, I think so. But some of these are really useful, like that one, the seawall. I liked it the most because it's actually saving someone from the disaster, because every now and then people face these disasters and a lot of man and money gets involved in it. So I like that one the most. What about you all? If you love my reaction over this, do let me know in the comment section below. Give it a like, share, and don't forget to subscribe. Bye-bye.